Yo, peace was good. We're listening to my CD collection. This is part 61. But before I start, I want to give a shout out to everybody that showed love for me from the tribute video that I did, the rest in peace joint that I did for him. Like I said, rest in peace to him. It was confirmed that he died from complications of diabetes, which is unfortunate. And I released a song called Original on my channel. It's a beat video. It's a beat song. It's a beat that I did back in 2014. I did a making of it, like how I made the beat and stuff like that. So definitely check that out when you guys get a chance. So shout out to you guys for the love, and shout out to the motherfucker that likes to do the dislike. Much love to you, my nigga. I know who you are, but it is what it is. So eat a dick, my dude. And also, I want to give a shout out to my dude Ross Hartley. Shout out to him. Love his taste. Like me and him have pretty much like the same taste in music and stuff like that. Definitely check him out. I post a link in his and I'll post a link of his channel in the description box. Definitely check him out. Very dope. Very dope reviewer. Very intricate, very detailed, kind of like mines and stuff like that. Shout out to my dude Jake McMahon. Shout out to him. You know what I mean? Up and coming reviewer. You know what I'm saying? Definitely dope. I fucks with him. I'll post that down in the description box. Definitely check him out when you guys get a chance. Alright, shout out to Killer Tapes 93. Shout out to him. Shout out to Mike Sears. Shout out to everybody. You guys already know who y'all are, you know what I mean? So enough of the props. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of the video. My CDs, alright? First album I'm gonna show you guys is Total with their second and final album. It's titled Kima, Keisha and Pam, released in 1998. Total, they're a group from Newark, New Jersey, Brick City, home of Tame One, Lords of the Underground, Redman, Queen Latifah, people like that. Alright, they're known for songs like What You Missing, Kissing You, Can't You See, which was like the biggest song of their career. That song, I believe, was featured on their first album, but it was first featured on the New Jersey Drive soundtrack, volume 1, because it's volume 2. Volume 1 was like the full-length album, volume 2 was like more like the EP, you know what I'm saying? But this is their second album, and like I said, that final album, known for singles with Trippin' with Missy Elliott, what's the other video, what's the other song, I believe Trippin' and I Tried. I believe those are the singles off the album. Those 2 singles, and unfortunately, like I said, this is their last album, and that was due to Pam, which I believe is her right here. She had some internal demons going on with her, and some personal issues, which kind of caused the breakup of the group, but also her not getting along with Puff, because you already know how Puff is and shit like that. So, but yeah, man, it's a shame because a lot of R&B, especially female groups, don't really last long. You know what I'm saying? I mean, i.e. Destiny's Child and, a whole bunch of other artists that I could talk about, you know what I mean? Brownstone, TLC, but TLC obviously, I mean, they're still together, but, you already know with Left Eye Gone, it's not going to be the same, you know what I mean? I could name a whole bunch of other groups that are not together anymore, but very good album. I highly recommend it. If you guys like 90s R&B, like I do, then I highly recommend picking this up. Next album is DMX's 4th album, The Great Depression, released in 2001. I already have this album, but I lost the case, so I figured I'd just pick it up again. Don't judge me. I know you're gonna bought this. Chill with that. I don't give a fuck. It's my money. I can do what the fuck I want. Plus, I got the full case. I like to have a collection of it, so it is what it is. So at the end of the day, it's my money. So, but I didn't pay full price for this. I paid maybe, I don't remember, like $4 maybe on a thrift store, something like that. No, I bought this at FYE. I forgot how much I paid for it, but it wasn't like full price. But yeah, man. This is their fourth. This is his 4th album. This album came out 2 years after And There Was X, which I did a review on. needed to do a review, and I did pick up Flesh My Flesh, Blood My Blood, which I have. And I'll have to do a review on that someday. I have to pick up the It's Dark Hell Is Hot, which I have, but again, I don't have the case. I lost a lot of my cases, so when I find a good copy, I'll pick it up and stuff. So, but yeah, getting back to this album right here. Known for singles, Who We Be, which was a big song. We Right Here. Oh my God, that song We Right Here. I always felt that song was kind of like a semi sequel to Rough Riders Anthem, but not as strong. But it was like for the moment, you know what I mean? Like it's a song like when you hear it, it's like yo, that shit is hot, but it doesn't have the impact as Rough Rider Anthem for obvious reasons. But it's still a good song. And the song I Miss You, which is a featuring Faith Evans, which is a dedication to his grandmother that passed away, I believe, in 1994. I believe she died around that in 94. So, he finally made a song about her because, like, his grandmother was, like, pretty much like his mom, pretty much in a sense. Because if you guys know DMX's background, he, unfortunately, to this day, he's battling with drug addiction and him being a stick-up kid going from group home to group home, just not having a structured family. He never had a structured family growing up, you know what I mean? So, which is unfortunate. But, what can you do? You know what I mean? You just gotta pray for him and hope for the best, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, gotta do a review on this album one day, so definitely stay tuned for that. But, this is DMX, The Great Depression, released in 2001, alright? So, then we got Genesis, Busta Rhymes' fifth album. This was released in 2001. I guess another album that I already have, but again, I don't have the case for it. I just got the CD in the booklet, so whatever. This album is known for singles Breaking Neck, Pastor Courvoisier, but the Pastor Courvoisier that everybody knows is the remix. It's not the. This is the original version, so it's completely different from the video version, so not as good. As I Come Back, which was a single, and I want to say that's it. And What It Is, What It Is. I hate that fucking song with Khalees. What it is right now, Busta. What it is. Oh my, I hate that song. I fucking hate that song. That was a bad song. I would have to do obviously a review on this album, but I'm gonna like the next introduction video I'm gonna do on Busta Rhymes, so definitely stay tuned for that. I might do that one of these days, not sure when. But yeah, Busta Rhymes Genesis, released in 2001. Then we got Foxy Brown's first solo debut album with Il Na Na, released in 1996. This is another album I already have, but I just don't have the case. So, like I said, I'm a completist. I like to have the case. I'm very anal like that, so I'm weird like that. But this is our first album known for singles like "Get Me Home" with Blackstreet, dope song. "I'll Be You" featuring Jay-Z. Yeah, those are the only two singles of the album. "Get Me Home." Nice video too, you see them like in the park, whatever. You see her riding on a white horse and shit. Yeah, I'll Be, fucking love that song with Jay-Z, very dope. Around this time, she was with The Firm and stuff like that, so you already know that, you had like Jay-Z writing her lyrics and stuff like that, AZ as well. Just a little tip, like how you can tell when somebody writes their lyrics is when listen to that artist that goes for her lyrics around that time, like let's say 96. You listen to Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt, AZ, and then you listen to her, and you put two to two together. You can kind of tell just on how she's rapping, because like when you listen to this album, you can tell she was influenced by Jay-Z, because obviously he wrote her lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with AZ. So how they were rapping, that's how she was rapping. So that's a little tidbit if you guys knew that or if you guys didn't know. So, but yeah, finally got this album. Like I said, I already have it, but I had to pick it up again. I believe this is out of print, so I got this for like 50 cents. So, yeah, man. So I had to get it, but I already have all. I have a China Doll, which was horrendous, but I'll have to do a review on that album, and I have the Broken Silence album. So, supposedly she was supposed to come out with L99 Part 2 back in like 2003, but it never came out. It was shelved, but it got leaked on the internet. And I think she came out with another album called Black Roses. I believe like 07 or 08. I do not have that album, unless that was a street album. No, Brooklyn Don Diva. That was like more of a street album, stuff like that. So, yeah, Foxy Brown, L99, released in 1996. Then got this album right here, Loose Screws, Hell on Dry Land, released 1996. Don't know who these guys are, but I like the cover, and I knew it was a hip hop album just by the way it looked. You know, obviously you see black people and stuff. That sounds so bad. I don't give whatever. Like this kind of has like that hardcore look to it, so that kind of attracted me because you guys know I like dark music. I believe these guys are from Georgia. I want to say like I want to say ATL or you know, like Marietta or like one of those places, Decatur. I'm not really sure. I couldn't really find too much info from them, but I want to say they're from Georgia. I don't know where exactly. If anybody that knows about these guys, let me know in the description box. I mean, in the comment section, let me know where they're from. But yeah, I had to pick this up. Just like I said, it was released in 1996. Just listen to this album. It kind of reminded me of something like in the likes of like a Dayton Family and that kind of shit. So I was like, I really like this album, right? I thought it was pretty good. I'm trying to get more albums like this. I'm trying to get more like hip hop from the South, like particularly from like the early to mid '90s. You know, something like this, or you know, a lot of like Rap A Lot stuff. You know, which is long out of print. Like I'm trying to get like Psycho. Trying to get the Psychos. The Psychic Dogs album by Gangsta Nip, his second album. I need to get more Point Blank albums, some K Reno albums. I have the Danger Zone album by K Reno. I have the South Park Psycho by Gangsta Nip. But I just need to get more of them joints and stuff like that. So yeah, man. And same thing with some more No Limit albums from the early to mid '90s. Need to get those joints. But yeah, so I'm trying to get more of these albums like this. So, but yeah, I'm glad to own this shit. I got this for like I think like $2. So yeah, yup. Loose Screws, Hell on Dry Land, released in 1996. Then we got N.O.R.E's third album with God's Favorite, released in 2002. This is his third album. This album came out 2 years after the Melvin Flint album, which I do have in my collection, and I have his first album, the Nori album, Niggas on the Run Eating, which is the acronym for that. Eventually, I would have to review the War Report album, the Reunion album, which I do have, his solo albums and stuff like that. At least up to this album, because I'm a Nori fan to an extent, but I like his early stuff, like the stuff from like pretty much from like 1997 to like 2000. I feel like they were in their prime, you know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. But this song was known for singles Grimy, which I fucking hate. It's just like when I was in high school in New York and Queens, you had niggas that's just like any like some stupid ass shit. Like anybody could just do something stupid like grimy, grimy. Like it's just like it was so annoying. The song Nothing, which was pretty good. I thought that was pretty good. Dope Perils, Neptune's track right there. Definitely have to pick this album up. I mean, not pick it do a review eventually, but yeah. N.O.R.E, God's Favorite, released in 2002. Next album right here is Keith Murray's debut album, The Most Beautifullest Thing in This World. Again, this is another album that I already have, but I just didn't have the case. So the case is in really bad condition. So I would have to like go and buy some shells and just just hook it up and stuff like that. But I already have the album and I already have the booklet. But it just came with the case and the CD itself, and the CD is really scratched up. So luckily I have the good copy with me like on one of my CD cases. But the singles design was known for is the most beautiful thing in this world. Love that song. To me, the best flip version of that IZ Brothers sample, in my opinion. Even though like it's a loop, which I have nothing against loops, because I most of my stuff when I make beats are loops anyways. Even if you chop it up, it's a chopped up loop. But you know, I know mad people will disagree with that, but I don't care, whatever. And I Get Lefted, those are the two singles off the album. So the most beautiful thing in the most beautifulest thing in this world, and I Get Lefted. Those are the two singles off the album. Glad to own this joint right here. I believe this is out of print. So yeah. So Keith Murray with his debut album, released in '94. Then we got Freeway with his second album, Free at Last, released in 2007. Freeway, you guys should know who he is. Was part of State Property at one point. Was part of Rockefeller. He dropped his first album, Philadelphia Freeway, which I do have in my collection. I have to do a review on that someday. The reason why it took him so long to do this album is because like during the breakup of you know, the Rockefeller, you know what I'm saying, like him, you know, Jay-Z and you know, and Dame Dash going at it with each other, you know, just kind of dissolving their relationship in general, pretty much caused the demise of Rockefeller and like you know, this whole State Property brand and stuff like that. So he had to kind of recover himself, and you know, and he came back. I mean, yeah, he came back, and then he came out with this album right here. Yeah, the singles off this album, I believe, are Rockefeller Billionaires and It's Over. No, Lights Get Low. Those are the singles off the album, alright? Definitely would have to do a review on this album someday, not sure when, but yeah, Freeway, Free at Last, released in 2007. Then we got another album for 2007, KRS-One and Marl. There's a collab album called Hip Hop Lives, released in 2007. Obviously this would be like a response to N.O.R.E saying like hip hop is dead, which you know it isn't, but it's on some bullshit right now. But you still got some dope MCs doing their thing right now. But yeah, this album came out in 2007. I believe the single off this album, I'm trying to figure out what's the single. I think there was a video, but I just can't remember the video of this album. But yeah, man, glad to own this joint right here. I got this at a pawn shop. Got it for like, I think like $3.99 or some shit like that. So yeah, man, got my hands on this. Finally got my hands on this. Pretty dope album right here. So I would have to do a review on this album eventually. But yeah, KRS-One and Marl. I believe this was the first album that he did a collab album with, because he did with other people. He did with True Master, which I need to get my hands on. He did a collab album with Showbiz. I think it was called Godsville back in like 2010, 2011. And Kenny Parker, the BDP album, which I need to get my hands on as well. But yeah, KRS-One, Marl, Hip Hop Lives, released in 2007. Then we got Rising Down with The Roots. This is their 8th album. The single this album was known for, I believe, is Get Busy with Dice Raw and PD. That's when because he was called PD Crack, but he called himself PDP. PD Crack, I believe, is somewhat affiliated with The Roots, even though he was part of State Property. But in recent times, he was doing a lot of work with The Roots and stuff like that. I don't know the story with that, but I know Get Busy was a single off this album. Yeah, good album right here. I have to do a review on this album. The Roots, Rising Down, released in 2008, excuse me. Then we got Immortal Technique with his second album, Revolutionary 2, released in 2003. I have to get his first album, the Revolutionary Volume 1. Need to get my hands on that. And I need to get his the Third World album that came out 2008, I believe it came out with. Yeah, I believe it was 2008. But yeah, Immortal Technique, he's dope live. I've seen him live, perform live back in 2007 at the Rock the Bells concert. My opinion, my favorite, my favorite. Sorry about that. Yeah, so like I was saying before, I saw him perform in '07 at the Rock the Bells concert. Yo, that dude, he does it in. But singles off this album is Industrial Revolution and The Point of No Return. Those are the two singles off the album, right? Immortal Technique, released in 2003, Revolutionary Volume 2. Then we got Terror Squad with their second album, True Story, released in 2004. I remember this album coming out in the late summer of 2004. Singles off this album was known for is Lean Back, which, God, I hate that fucking song. Like, it's cool, but when I hear it, it's just like, it just got so annoying. And it's like, you had mad people doing like remixes, and it was just out of control, man. And you know, this came out around the mixtape era, if you guys know what I mean. So, but yeah, got this album. I need to get their first album, which I do have. I just don't have the kids. I just have the CD. I don't even have the booklet. I just have the actual CD. So I need to get my hands on that. But I know that's long out of print. So, but yeah, Lean Back, I believe, was the only single of the album. The song Yeah Yeah Yeah, Remy Ma, yo, killed that shit. But yeah, True Story by Terror Squad, released in 2004. Yeah. Right. And obviously Cuban Link is not on the album for obvious reasons, because him and Fat Joe got into it a while back. Then we got Lloyd Banks with Rotten Apple, released in 2006. The story with this album is that the album was actually supposed to be called The Big Withdrawal. It was supposed to come out in 2005, but unfortunately, Lloyd Banks got caught slipping. He was involved with a threesome with two girls, and because of that threesome, the girls leaked his album, The Big Withdrawal, online and stuff like that. So I didn't hear the album. I didn't hear it. But it is what it is. So because of that, he had to re-record new songs, and then that's how this album came about. So this album is known for a couple of singles. The Cake, that song was big in '06. I remember that song being big in New York. Cake, Hands Up, which I Can't Stand, and Help. Those are the three singles off the album. But very different compared to his first album. His album's a little bit more darker compared to his first album, The Hunger for More, which I need to get my hands on. But yeah, Rotten Apple by Lloyd Banks, released in 2006. Last album of the video is Project Polaroid, released in 2006. It's a collab album between Kool Keith and a producer named Tom C3. Man, yo, this album is fire. I highly recommend picking this shit up. I seen the album cover, and I like the album cover, but when I saw Kool Keith, I was like, yeah, I had to pick this shit up, man. And lo and behold, very, very dope. What I like about this album is that they use a lot of soundtrack samples, like a lot of library records and stuff like that, and from the 60s and 70s, and then they incorporated that into the album, and I thought that was pretty good, man. Hence the theme of that, the cover and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool right here. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. And that's it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more videos. Peace. And I will have to do a review, maybe sometime this week or next week, but I will do one, so definitely stay tuned. Peace.